Good morning. So glad you've joined us today for DA Live's What's New in SOLIDWORKS 21 and 3D Experience. Without further ado, I'll hand things over to Bob McGoy, Randy Simmons, and Todd Myers.
SOLIDWORKS Cloud Design apps introduce new capabilities with every release, providing more mobility without sacrificing powerful design tools that you know and love. Subdivision modeling can capture the best of your creativity by crafting organic, ergonomic shapes, saving you hours of design time. Every mechanical and sheet metal designer are familiar with some of the tools and feel right at home. Cloud-based rendering helps you bring your work to life without having to worry about hardware constraints. All this functionality is there for you to be able to design on any device at any time. Let's take a look at some of our favorite X apps.
Xshape on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform opens the door to creating stylish, sculptural, and organic forms through subdivision modeling. The tools and workflows found in Xshape provide a unique experience focused on creating the perfect shape without having to rely on traditional modeling tools like surface modeling. Think of it as working with digital clay. You begin by selecting a primitive that represents what you're trying to create. You can modify the primitive by adding or removing divisions and by changing the scale and proportions. Once your form is roughed in, you can refine your design in a variety of methods. Any of the model's vertices, faces, or edges can be selected to drag, rotate, and scale. And as you make modifications, Xshape will preserve the continuity across the entire shape you're creating. You can add more loops or subdivide the model for more complex curvature. And selecting different combinations of entities allow for unlimited options for changing your geometry. To speed up selecting geometry, the selection filter allows you to filter any entity type. Selecting an edge loop, as seen here, is an ideal way to make adjustments to the overall cross sections of your model. And the crease feature can be used to add sharper edges to the design. Powerful tools like symmetry will help you maintain design intent, ensuring that what you create on one side will be duplicated on the other. And subdividing smaller regions or groups of regions allow you to create more discrete details without changing the overall form. For more finite control of your form, you can activate the cage manipulator. This provides an alternative to selecting the vertices, edges, and faces on your model directly and can give you a different perspective on how your changes affect model geometry. Finally, when you need more distinct forms in your design, simply add and refine more primitive shapes. Subdivision modeling with Xshape on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform is a powerful and efficient way to create complex forms. Thanks to the power of the 3DEXPERIENCE platform, anything you create in Xshape can be further refined in other applications in the cloud, like XDesign, or they can be imported into traditional tools like SOLIDWORKS. With Xshape's easy-to-use, intuitive tools and workflows, you'll find that your only limitation is your imagination.
XDesign on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform delivers a major change in the way you design 3D components. Starting with its unique single modeling environment, you're no longer constrained by working with parts or assemblies, like traditional design tools. Instead, you can get right to work creating the features and sketches that define your designs. Within XDesign, you'll find familiar sketch and feature tools, but you'll also find a ton of new ways to tackle your design challenges quickly. For example, while interactively sketching profiles, XDesign guides you in understanding which entities are geometrically constrained. As you add relationships between entities, capturing design intent, the color of those entities changes, helping you to define your sketches. XDesign is also always helping you in capturing your design intent by providing automatic relations as you sketch. Continuously drawing the same diameter circle? XDesign recognizes this and automatically makes them equal to one another. Whenever you want to add more relations, simply select two geometric entities and XDesign will provide you with relations that make sense. XDesign also shades the shapes of the contours within your sketches to let you know what shapes can ultimately be created with them. This lets you understand your overall design better while your sketches take on more complexity. Creating three-dimensional features from your 2D sketches is easy in XDesign. Multiple options for controlling the final shape are available in every feature dialog, eliminating the need for different dialogues for different features. For example, the extrude command can create features that are solids or surfaces. They can also be changed to add material or remove material at any time, and even start completely new bodies, all in a single command. Nearly all of these features can be dynamically changed later to become a different feature in the future, all on the fly without the need to start a different command. Maybe you created a chamfer and decided you'd rather have a fillet instead. Just a simple edit and change the feature type. This eliminates the need to delete and recreate the feature. This gives you unparalleled flexibility as you create and change your designs, as well as eliminating the need to learn different features for similar tasks. As these designs take shape, the power of the single modeling environment becomes more than just creating new geometry. It also offers the flexibility of which features make up entirely new components. XDesign allows you to select those features and create a new component from them on the fly. These newly created components can be used in other designs and managed with all of the tools on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. In addition to creating parts on the fly, right from an assembly by selecting the features, there is also a more traditional approach to building structured designs. You can simply insert one component into another at any time. Finding your components is simple because all of your engineering data is saved and managed on the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. Simply search for the component you're looking for and then drag and drop it into the XDesign app. When you want to locate them precisely, through mates, you simply need to choose the entities of two different objects, and XDesign presents you with an intelligent menu of possible mates. Choosing the desired mate type immediately moves the components into the desired position and restrains them to one another indefinitely. To streamline this workflow, when you're adding multiple instances of the same component, you can choose to instead use copy with mates. This not only adds additional instances of the component, but also adds the exact same mates as the original, streamlining the entire process. Sometimes you may need to change the component used in a particular instance. For example, from a longer fastener to a shorter one. Replace component allows you to quickly search the 3DEXPERIENCE platform for the file you're looking for and choose a replacement. You can also choose to replace all instances of the component if you desire. This gives you the flexibility to look at how different components will interface with your design. XDesign will change the way you think about CAD and structured assemblies with its powerful single modeling environment, along with its easy-to-use mating tools.
Let's look at the new Xshape app for the 3DEXPERIENCE platform. This angle bracket and base plate are going to be pretty expensive to manufacture. So we're going to go ahead and try to make this into a sheet metal component instead. Grabbing the bottom face of this base plate will give us a sketch needed to begin our sheet metal part. We don't need those holes because that bracket's going to become part of the sheet metal component. Putting our first feature in, we'll look at the standard sheet metal functionality that we need with thickness, bend radius, and relief, and then we'll accept that command. We want to be able to have this saw slide very smoothly across parts, so we're going to bend up that edge there on the front, using a sketch as our base for bending. Selecting the sketch and a bent point, we can then put in the angle at which we want that bend to go up at 150 degrees, and we're on our way. We're going to pull some walls or some edge flanges, depending on what functionality you're used to calling it. We'll go ahead and tell it the material to the inside there, and we'll accept that. Remember, we're doing this all in a web browser. We're going to have a flange that's going to have to be bent up here in a moment. So we need to add a clearance area for that flange to be bent up. So we're going to make a cut here, taking away some material. Then we're going to go ahead and grab that angle bracket and borrow some geometry off that. Grabbing the back face, we can then convert that geometry into a sketch. We'll get rid of that extra geometry there on the bottom, joining the two endpoints. Just a single click there with my context sensitive toolbar, and we've got a closed sketch. That sketch does not have to be perfectly on that edge to start that flange. We'll go ahead, pick that sketch, pick that edge, and we've got everything that we need to finish that feature off. Change the reliefs there so it fits in better. Maybe tighten the bend radius a little bit. And let's go ahead and do a check. We'll unfold the part and see if there's any interferences, which there is. So that flange does interfere with the part right there. Do a quick measurement. Looks like we got about 16.25 millimeters. So we'll extend out that cutout that we did by 20 millimeters. Do that check once again. Looks like we got plenty of clearance there. And now we've been able to substitute a nice sheet metal part very quickly, all inside of a web browser.
XStudio is a browser-based tool to create and share photorealistic renderings of your product to showcase your designs. It allows you to easily create marketing assets and connect and continue working anytime, anywhere, directly in your web browser. It has a streamlined interface for everyone to be able to create photorealistic product shots to validate and promote their products. It leverages cloud rendering services to generate photorealistic images anywhere with no client installation or costly hardware. Then, of course, you can directly share your results in 3D Swim and 3D Space with other users.
On behalf of myself, Bob McGoy, Todd Myers, Randy Simmons, and the rest of the computer-aided technology staff, we'd like to thank you for attending our presentation today. And now we're going to open it up for questions.